As the elections are coming up, we have wondered how climate change is going to affect the 2020 elections and what view Joe Biden and Donald Trump have.
But first, who are Donald Trump and Joe Biden? Donald Trump is a Republican and has been a candidate for presidency 3 times: 2000, 2016 and 2020. Back in 2016, his main points in the campaign were illegal immigration, offshoring of American jobs, US national debt and Islamic terrorism. His 2020 pitch is to bring back the economy, boost jobs, protect US trade interests and to continue with his hardline stance on immigration. He wants strict laws against abortion and LGBTQ+ criminalization all over the world and a death penalty for drug dealers. Joe Biden, on the other hand, is a Democrat and has been vice president twice, 2008 and 2012. His main points in the campaign are public option for health insurance, decriminalization of recreational cannabis, passing the Equality Act, free community college, and a $1.7 trillion climate plan embracing the framework of the Green New Deal.
Let's start with what even is climate change. Climate change describes changes in the average conditions such as temperature in a region over a long period of time. NASA scientists observed that the Earth's surface is warming, which has a big impact on Mother Nature. The greatest impact on warming is water vapor. Industries and agriculture trappings produce carbon dioxide, CO2. All this heat lowers the atmosphere and the surface. The sea level increased by 3.6 millimeters per year between 2005 and 2015. Because of the water increase, ice is melting and territories of animals get destroyed. But without changes, there could be water shortage and less abilities to produce food. Linus, what is Joe Biden's point of view?
I'm glad you asked. Joe Biden wants change. That's why a big climate plan is involved in his 2020 elections campaign. He says climate change is everywhere and it's important for world's economics. Biden has created a clean energy revolution plan to ensure the US achieves a 100% clean energy economy and reaches net zero emission no later than 2050. Build a stronger, more resilient nation, rally the rest of the world to meet the threat of climate change, stand up to the abuse of power by polluters who disproportionately harm communities of color and low-income communities, and fulfill our obligation to workers and communities who powered our industrial revolution and subsequent decades of economic growth. This plan has an estimated price of $1.7 trillion. But Alessia, what is Donald Trump's point of view?
I'm excited to tell you. Trump's view is obvious. In the past, he called climate change mythical and non-existent, but on the other hand, he called it a serious subject. In 2009, he signed a full-page advert expressing support against climate change. In the years that followed, there was the opposite approach. He published more than 120 posts questioning or modeling light of climate change. In 2011, he even said that climate change was created by and for the Chinese people in order to make US manufacturing non-competitive. Later, he claimed it as a joke. Trump also believes there is no climate change because there is cold weather. Trump's position is personally but also based on his need to appear to the part of the Republican establishment that rejects climate change. To cut it short, Trump does not believe in climate change because it isn't an issue for America yet, so it's not an issue for Mr. Trump. Is it gonna affect the elections?
Well, first thing that matters is if people believe in climate change. People who believe in climate change are more likely to vote for Biden because, as we already mentioned, Biden has a specific plan to stop climate change, and Donald Trump doesn't do anything against it. But we can learn from the past. On this chart, you can see that less than 25% of the Republicans cared about climate change in 2016. On the other hand, more than 70% of the Democrats cared about it, which makes a difference of almost 50%. But Trump still won the 2016 elections, which shows us it did not have an impact on the elections. In 2020, the number has increased on both sides. 10% more Democrats and 5% more Republicans care about climate change.
What could the future look like? First of all, the US is on the second place of CO2 emitters after China, as you can see in this chart. If Trump wins, we are more likely to go the red path, which would lead into a temperature rise of 4.1 to 4.8 degrees Celsius. If Biden wins, we are more likely to go the green or even the blue path, which would be a temperature rise of 2.5 to 3.2 degrees Celsius. The ice is melting and the world is getting destroyed. Responding to climate change will be one of the biggest challenges we will have to face this century, and we need the US to help with that.
Thank you for watching!